Good morning. It's a Monday, April 29th, and that means two things. I got a new microphone, and it's time for the lighting industry news brief brought to you by Keystone Technologies and the Linta. Linta is a line of linear pendants that offer options. Like everything Keystone does, this comes in a bunch of different lengths, but whatever length you buy, they come with a switch that lets you turn it into an uplight or a downlight. It also lets you switch between power levels and CCT outputs, and the connections come in a bunch of different options, so you can go around corners, create intersections, create interesting shapes to expand the coverage of this fixture, because the Linta is light made easy. KeystoneTech.com. The link is in the description if you don't mind. Into the news. Comments on the DLC's NLC 5.1 are open. That forum closes at the end of May. Submissions are open for the IES progress report. You have until the 3rd for that. Signify has set a new slew of net zero goals with plans to reduce output until 2040. BMO has launched Greener Future Financing with new options to fund projects for small and medium enterprises. The FTC has banned non-compete clauses in contracts with some exceptions, and we're fine with that. What we're not fine with, maybe you decide. The NAAD is not fine with new overtime rules. The Department of Labor wants to require overtime pay for salaried employees if their salaries are not especially high, which some member businesses don't appreciate. We'll see how that goes. Construction on the U.S.-Mexico border is going slowly. The Senate has ordered adding lighting to the architectural features on the border, but that's behind schedule for some reason. A proposed merger between Anglo American and BHP, both miners of copper, has missed. Anglo American has rejected their buyout offer. Signify's sales are down 12%, and the stock is down 8% accordingly. Revenues are up at LSI with $108 million in Q1. EMCOR has posted their Q1 earnings with $260 million coming in. Clear Blue is extending their common stock purchase warrant. That's now set for April 29th next year. At SGH, their Q1 was $100,000 in profits. Q1 at SPI shows 6% growth. Sales up 3.5% in Q1 at Granger. In U.S. Postal Service news, we have Renos in Reno, which means that mail will be moving through West Sacramento, and Gulfport is closed for renovation with mail moving through Jackson, Mississippi. We have a third shipping channel open in Baltimore, which means the port is now open for essential commerce. Lithium Lasers has raised 2 million euros in venture funding. This is a UV laser company. We have new owners at Ebart Sign and Lighting. The Illinois business has been sold for an undisclosed amount. GE Savant has picked Bakery as their social agency of record. We have the Electrical Connection volunteers repairing their 600th home. This is a group of contractors in St. Louis that have been helping low-income families for a couple of years now. Greenlight Alliance has teamed with the Women in Lighting for a new survey on upcycling projects, and Musco Lighting's sports fixtures are one of the 67 coolest things made in Iowa. The Iowa Association of Business and Industry Recognition is holding a survey to determine what the coolest thing in Iowa is, and Musco Lighting is on the list. In legal news, we have a lawsuit claiming that a smart home isn't. This is $30,000 being sought from a British Columbia realtor for a home that's worth $1 million. I should point out that $1 million house in BC is not a big deal. Most houses are $1 million. My house is $1 million. It's terrible. It's a terrible house. Let's not talk real estate. Let's talk about Christmas lighting, because Robert Wayne Schlosser, a Minnesota owner of custom Christmas lights, will be serving 21 months in jail for 12 years of tax evasion. Pay your taxes, guys. Rep agency updates. AM agency will be repping Belushi in Alberta and BC. And things you can go to LightX in July. That's an agent meetup in Houston. The IES has announced new webinars for the next little while. We have panels on the 2nd, 23rd, and 6th. Those are May and June, respectively. On May 2nd, you can also attend a talk by David Radulescu on patents. SkyX has partnered with Rui Appliances, which means they are entering the Chinese market. Savvy has partnered with Hanwha for smart security. QTL has joined the Vantage Fixture Alliance with new systems being added to the platform. Memphis Streetlights have earned the Smart 20 Award for their LED connected street lighting. That was an Amoresco project. And in Leicester, in the UK, their streetlights got hacked. They've been on all day, all the time, for weeks. Again, cybersecurity training, it's more than just firewalls. It's training people. And Schneider Electric might be buying Bentley. Schneider says maybe, Bentley says we're not saying anything. In R&D news, we can reduce glare indoors from a new P&L study recommending adjusting brightness and angles. We have a new expanding 2D nanomaterial. This is related to the silicon carbides that are used in lighting and display covers. We have the University of Liège has determined that brighter lighting does improve cognitive function, both in executive and emotional processing. We've also found that the genetic markers for bioluminescence are very old. 500 million years ago, there was glowing coral, and that's the first time we've spotted that. And MIT has determined that light itself can vaporize water without heat. Literally, really bright light the photons will knock the water molecules into the air, which is a big deal for desalination, if we can do this, at scale. On the darker side of things, we have better sleep being associated with mental health under pressure, specifically sleep hygiene practices among nurses during the plague years was very much appreciated, as it turns out. Moths are actually getting better at avoiding light traps. Seabirds are getting better at avoiding well-lit areas as they get older. Colorado is expanding their dark sky programs. Heineken, the beer company, has released an ad raising awareness for dark skies. Cyclone, a company that makes lighting fixtures, has promised safer crosswalks with some specialty lenses on lighting. Android 15, which is to say the Android OS version 15, will have an option to force dark mode on all apps and dim screens to the lowest levels possible at night if you're worried about blue light at any time. We have a new study, a meta-study really, showing that daylight savings time has mixed safety outcomes, and a reminder that turkeys, even the ones you are raising for food, need dark nights too. A land tribunal has settled a case on a proposed farm and its lighting in Niagara-on-the-Lake. The Clearwater Aquarium of Florida is working with residents to improve lighting during turtle nesting season. Lights Out Connecticut has spun up for migration season, as has in the state of Indiana, and the Washington University of St. Louis. Shutesbury, Massachusetts will be voting on lighting bylaws this week, and a UK woman has gotten the Barnet region of London to dim their street lighting just for her. In horticultural news, we have a quarterly dividend from Scott's Miracle Grow. That's at 66 cents per share. We have a new vertical farm in BC. We have a study showing that Ontario fruits and veggies are getting more sustainable. We have Solemn offering cloud services for their greenhouse lighting. Babylon Micro Farms offering education at the K-12 levels in horticultural lighting. And we have the UK House of Lords debating a report on the horticultural sector and its future. And in sports news, sports fields need horticultural LEDs because how else are you going to get the grass so nice? Think about it. Whole new market for you, boys. and gals and NBs. Anyway, in recommended reading, all these links are on nailed.org, but we have myth busting, green energy taxes. We have what lights you should keep on for your pets, why we don't feel energy efficient. We have the 3 skill levels of strip lighting. We have recovering lighting in a demolition. We have working with recycled metals. We have a case study of the Watermark Community Church. We have a case study of rebuilding the Westminster Pier Park and a case study of the Nottingham Bowl. We have direct-to-consumer lighting distribution. We have mining for light fixtures. We have the discussion of whether the market can save us and how to run an effective energy study and how do less lethal LED incapacitators work. In local news, Hawaii has lifted their conservation requests after just in time for a whole new hurricane season. Illinois EPA has new grants. Disneyland has completed a lamppost swap after one fell down and hurt a guest. Canton, Maryland has been struck by copper thieves, as has Oakland, California. We have $15 million planned for Mississippi highway lighting, $500,000 in Norfolk, Nebraska grants for Norfolk, Nebraska. We have new home grants in Peterborough, Ontario. We have changes to downtown Albuquerque, New Mexico lighting. We have a new intersection lighting program in Jackson County, Iowa. Austin, Texas is testing new lighting for pedestrian safety. We have $600K in new lighting for Corvallis, Oregon. We have Estes Park, Colorado Museum switching to LED. We have Louisville, Kentucky testing a new system to force code compliance for rental properties. We have Austin, Texas adding new lights to Lady Bird Lake after 2 corpses were pulled out of that lake. You know, fun fact, Austin's first street lights, the moonlights, the big towers, those were actually installed to thwart a serial killer as well. They didn't actually thwart the serial killer. They never found that guy. York University will be retrofitting their education department. Multnomah County, Oregon is adding anti-addict lighting, or at least around their libraries. And we have new lighting at Troup County Stadium. Sterling is expanding to Turks and Caicos. LMPG is going to be selling Fluxworks in the EU. UK has a plan to renovate all their churches. And Argentinian students have formed a new protest group to counter energy austerity measures on campus. In People News, we have a new board of directors at Grow Generation. We have new advisory board committee members at OZOP. We have a leadership shuffle at World Electric. Jordan Musser has moved to Holly Performance Brands. Scott Black has been appointed the business development rep for Landscape Forms. Darren Pittman has been named a senior sales manager at Light Forms. And Frank Licata has started a low-power radio station. And things that are weird, you know, the part that's really just for me is that we have glowing plankton on the beaches of Southern California. It's back again. We have OLEDs coming for your credit cards. We have how to build a giant board game or make your own RGB fill light, like the one I'm using to light myself. Anyway, I've been Scott Walker. Thank you for your time. Thank you to Nailed. Thank you to Keystone. Enjoy your week. Enjoy the music.
Tiny voices ringing in my